Hello and good morning, smart women. So this morning I have had already 3 radically honest conversations. Wow. I don't know if you've ever been in dialogue around radically honest, or if you've had conversation around, or if you ever had like a radically honest conversation before, or if I ran up the stairs, I'm catching my breath. If you have read the book Radically Honest, it's a great book. It'll make you laugh, it'll make you chuckle, but it just makes so much sense. So my first radically honest conversation was this morning with Cooper's educational tutor. And she's actually an educational therapist, which is awesome. She's extraordinary. We sat down, we had this awesome conversation last week. She's going to work with him. She's going to get him caught up to speed. And we're really excited about having her. And she wanted to come and meet Cooper yesterday for 20 minutes. And long story short, I was getting in from groceries and I had to drive Phil to the airport. And then like on top of it, I get separation anxiety really easily. And so every single time Phil leaves, I get anxiety, like really, really bad anxiety. But through all of my transformation, all of my leadership work, I've learned to identify it and be neutral about it. But it's still, I'm human, this stuff happens to me. And so in the midst of all of this, there's teachers at the house, I'm rushing with groceries, Phil's leaving for 5 days, and I'm just like flustered, okay? And we still don't have a plan for how she's gonna be working with him today. And so anyways, I didn't show up in the most powerful way yesterday with her. I didn't do anything wrong, or like, I just felt like I was short and overwhelmed and, just kind of like chaotic. And as a leader, that I don't get to show up like that. Okay. I get to be responsible with my emotional response. I get to be responsible with, how I am showing up for other people. And if I can't show up in a empowering way and be the wind underneath people's wings, then I get to go over there and clear it and like create a different way of being in order to make that happen. And by the way, if you are just showing up like a chaotic mess in your life and just going off half cocked and like being rude to people in lineups, or like honking your horn and having road rage, like these are emotional responses and emotional triggers that you absolutely must get control over. It's actually the only thing in your life that you can control. And they are trauma responses. And so it's super important that you get underneath that. That's why we're starting Lighthouse. If you don't know what Lighthouse is and you want to be in Lighthouse 1, put Lighthouse in the comment section, because it's so important that you learn how to emotionally respond to your trauma and not the circumstance. So that's a whole other thing, but we're talking about radical honesty. So this morning, I got to be radically responsible with Cooper's teacher. Because I woke up and I knew this yesterday, and for whatever reason, I didn't make it a priority last night. So this morning when I woke up, I sent her a voice note and I said, hey, Kim, listen. First of all, I just wanted to let you know I'm super excited that you are going to be supporting Cooper today and this week and working with him. I have such a great feeling about the relationship that you're creating with him, and I'm excited and Cooper's excited and our whole family's excited for Cooper to experience this freedom and learning. I said, but most importantly, I want to acknowledge my breakdown in my response yesterday. I was experiencing, and my experience is real. And so I shared this. I was experiencing my own chaos. I was experiencing frustration. I said, it's very hard for me. And I shared this with her. I don't know this woman at all, but I shared this with her because vulnerability is everything. And I shared with her, I said, listen, I'll let you a little insight into me. Phil leaves, as she already knew this, but Phil leaves every Sunday evening or Monday morning to go away. And because of the trauma that I've experienced in my life with people coming and going and leaving and people that I love, I still experience separation anxiety. And so, and I don't use that as an excuse for my behavior or my lack of connection with you yesterday or my sense of overwhelm that you may have been experiencing. And so I just wanted to apologize for the way that I showed up. I'm better than that. And I wanted to let you know that I'm on your team. And I share this with you. And if you're just joining, please go back and watch because it's not easy to be radically responsible or radically honest. for me in that moment, it really took me humbling myself. It took me not needing to be right about something. And it really took me putting her first, putting Cooper first, putting their relationship before my need to be right about the way that I showed up yesterday. Okay, so that was my first radically honest conversation. That was at 7:30 a.m. So then I moved on. Hi, Des. Then I moved on to my next conversation, which was with my husband. And so my husband and I, we have been on this road of building. He is building a 600,000 square foot facility in Arkansas. We're about to uplist onto the NASDAQ. Like, we are doing extraordinary things. He is doing extraordinary things. And then on side of this, we've opened up the Lighthouse Leadership Academy so that people can experience transformation through the Trinity, through by glorifying God and not just focusing so much on self and the universe and all of these things, whatever your stand is, okay? And I'm really a stand that we glorify God, like that when we go through these transformational experiences in the renewing of our mind, that we glorify God. And so anyways, in the midst of all of that, my husband and I have been disconnected. Like, we're a team, we're playing team, but we're not being vulnerable with one another. And we've had some broken trust. And not broken trust in that, don't hear what I'm not saying. Like, he's not having an affair, I'm not having an affair. That's not what I'm talking with broken trust. It's just like, we've had breakdowns in conversations because we haven't been seeing eye to eye, because we haven't been connected. And so therefore there's this breakdown in trust of, well, he's not going to see it my way anyways. And so we got to have a really honest, radically honest, vulnerable conversation this morning about how there is a breakdown, not just in our communication, but in our trust that we can hold each other. That he can hold me in my moments of frustration without getting frustrated and mirroring me back. That I can hold him in supporting him when he needs to leave, instead of creating this separation anxiety that in turn really makes him feel bad. And when he feels bad, instead of being vulnerable, he reacts in frustration. Okay, this is the deep stuff. This is the stuff we do at Lighthouse, okay? This is the stuff that's underneath the stuff that's underneath the stuff, okay? If you want to get underneath your stuff, like, say Lighthouse in the comment section. And actually, don't even do that. What I want you to do is I want you to come tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And then I'm going to tell you about my third radically honest conversation that I had with one of my friends this morning. But just come tomorrow. We're going to drop a registration page for you guys. It's completely free. I'm going to be training you. I'm going to give you 3 ways that you can start to lead your life. Like, these emotional responses, you can get underneath your stuff, get underneath the stuff, underneath that stuff too. And believe it or not, there's something else underneath that stuff. But then the third radically honest conversation that I had, Angela, if you could drop the link for tomorrow's training at 1 p.m., Learn to Lead. Yeah, drop the link so that it's clickable, if you don't mind. Click on this link. I'm going to be training you for free. I haven't done a free training in a little while, and so I'm really excited about this. And it's different. It's not about coaching. It's about leading. And like, last thing I'll say on this: if you're not leading right now, you're following, and that should concern you. And so let me show you guys a couple ways that you can start leading right now. And it's super easy to start leading. Start being the matriarch of your family. Start creating 10 out of 10 relationships. And we'll talk about that more tomorrow. But I just click the link and register, because I need to know you're coming so I can send you the Zoom link, okay? Then the third radically honest conversation I had this morning was with a very, very dear friend. And we're on this, without giving you guys too many details about this relationship, because it's a personal journey that we're on. We've gone through transformation from the very beginning together. She's experienced my transformation from the very, very beginning, that I stepped into a room, just like in Lighthouse. And likewise, I experienced her transformation. So we've actually been blessed and honored and privileged to have seen all of each other's weak spots, all of each other's trauma, all of the darkness, all of the pain, all of the trauma, all of the beauty, all of the gifts, all of the things that she has seen in me and I have seen in her. And with that leaves us very vulnerable to one another, because we know each other. We know each other intimately. And when we create together, we are so strong. And we've been building something together, we're building something together. But we're both experiencing each other being emotionally unavailable. And so this morning I got to share with her in full responsibility. Notice how radical honesty isn't just like, hey, you suck, and this is what you did, and that's why that's wrong, and I'm just standing in radical honesty. No, radical honesty is the truth as you see it, yes. But you're gonna take it one step further in owning how you're creating it. And so I got to say, listen, this is what I'm noticing, X, Y, and Z. This is what I said to her this morning. I said, this is my experience of you. And on top of that, I told her that this is the lens that I'm seeing a lot of my relationships through right now. That I'm having a breakdown in trust, that I'm having a breakdown in being able to let people in, that I'm having a breakdown in creating powerful, strong boundaries in my life or rules in my life. And because I haven't created these boundaries and rules in my life, I have created and collected evidence as to why I can't trust. And that is what we call in the transformational world a racket or a story that I've been running for my whole life. And it's a protection mechanism. And so we're going to talk about more about this tomorrow at 1 p.m. So if you are feeling like you are in isolation, if you are feeling like you have broken relationships everywhere, if you are feeling like you can't trust yourself, you can't trust anyone around you, you are wanting to close off, like you just want to retreat, you're doing this a lot more than you've ever done before, just know it's okay.